Hey everyone, welcome to part 5 of this Dark Urge Tactician mode guide for Baldur's Gate 3. We just met Kithrak Voss, and now we're going to fast travel back to the Risen Road waypoint so that we can defeat a couple more Gnolls and their leader Flind, and that's all part of helping out with the missing shipment side quest to help out the Zhentarim. So starting off at that waypoint, we're going to head over toward the west, and then we're going to climb up these rocks. We did this before in an earlier part, so we're really just retracing our steps. Now, the last time we did this, we kind of continued straight ahead forward. This time, what you want to do is go a little bit over toward the right. We're going to go toward the north. Now, we are going to separate the Dark Urge from the rest of our group. If you're doing it stealthily, this is going to be a really nice way to go through this. Make sure that your health is topped up because there is a pretty large fight coming up. As you run forward, stick toward the right side of the path and run toward the tree right ahead of us. Now save the game on the path and then run along the edge here, right along the plants over toward the left. If you do it properly, then a fight will commence and Flind will run straight toward us and it will engage us in a conversation. We can skip through some of this stuff and then we're going to search her mind for the source of the voice. Once we do that, we'll get a little bit more cutscene stuff, and then we'll have an opportunity to take over her mind. So when prompted, we're going to use Illithid Wisdom. You are of the same pack. Command her to devour the other Gnolls. This has a skill check of 2, so it's very easy to succeed.
Sensing your presence, the Gnolls tadpole writhes in ecstasy, echoing your command. Its host will feast on Gnoll flesh to control the hunger, to keep her teeth from your throat. Your mind lurches, reeling suddenly as if bitten.
The party gets hundreds of experience for doing that, and now Flind is going to act as our ally. So she's going to run forward and start attacking the other Gnolls and hyenas in this area. There are a couple of Zhentarim guys inside the cave down there who we ultimately want to save for now, and they're going to have a little conversation and then drop out of the fight.
Don't be a fool, lad. Shut your mouth and keep your head down. Leave the heroics to them that don't value their own skin.
So right now it's the Dark Urge's turn. None of the enemies can act until the Dark Urge does something. So instead, I'm going to switch over to Astarion, break him away from the rest of the group, and I'm going to move him up. Now, I want to start sneaking around here because I don't want the enemy to see me and start fighting, and I'm going to move him around a little bit. Now, if I ran straight up here and I started to attack the enemy, then I would probably get into a fight and they would all start to attack me. So instead, I'm just going to go over toward the side here. You did see that I saved it just because the first part of the fight went well, and now I want to kind of lock in that progress and move Astarion over to the side. Now I'm going to switch back over to the Dark Urge, move him out of sight so that the enemy can't see us, and I'll go back into hiding here. So now the enemy will be focused on attacking Flind instead of attacking me for the rest of the round. The enemy spent their whole turn attacking Flind, and Flind will retaliate and probably kill off one of the enemies for us. So now they can't act again until the Dark Urge acts, and I'm going to switch over to Astarion, who is still considered out of combat, and I'm going to sneak him around the side and up onto this rocky outcropping. This gives us a good vantage point over all the enemies below us. Now all we have to do is use a sneak attack to begin the fight against any of these enemies. So just find an enemy that you want to attack. And what we're going to do is attack with Astarion, and then once that's done, the enemy will be severely weakened. They took a lot of damage. And then I can switch it back over to the Dark Urge, who is wearing that Deathstalker mantle. Now I should be able to easily get a kill on the enemy that Astarion injured, and that will allow me to kill the enemy, and then I will turn invisible. And we're just going to keep recycling this pattern. We'll allow Flind to attack on her turn, then Astarion will take a shot at someone and go into hiding, and then whoever Astarion injures will have the Dark Urge then attack and get a kill on and remain invisible. And we'll just keep doing that process over and over again until all these enemies are killed. Now there are a lot of enemies and it does seem like it would be a difficult battle, but if you go about it from the stealthy point of view, it's actually quite simple. So I'm going to let this battle play out for you, and I don't have to give a play-by-play of everything because I've already explained the general gist of what we're doing here, but it is quite simple, and I will see you at the end when I have a little bit more to explain. So enjoy this battle as it plays out, and I'll see you at the end.
Let's have a little fun. Can't even catch my breath.
Make sure that when you get a kill and turn invisible that you move away from where the enemy believes that you are. You want to leave that ghostly image of you far away from you because the enemy will move toward you and they'll try to detect your presence, and if you're too close then they will spot you and then they'll be able to attack you. So as you can see from this example, the enemy tries to find me, but I'm too far away from where they think I am and I'm able to stay hidden at this point. And we can just keep going through that pattern.
They're dying for me. All of them. Breathe deep and move.
At this point I have a choice of which enemy to take out. There's Flind and the Gnoll Hunter. Either one of them is easy to kill, they're both very low on health. I decided to take out Flind first just because she is a tougher enemy. I don't want to have that one left around at the end. And the Gnoll Hunter only has a couple points of health left and is paralyzed. So it should be pretty easy to take this enemy out. I do take a shot with the Dark Urge, but I miss unfortunately. That's okay though because the enemy is paralyzed, can't do anything for the rest of this turn. So I'll just go back into hiding for right now, let the turn end, and then Astarion can get the cleanup kill really quickly. So once that's done, the fight will be over. We did an amazing job getting through this, and then the men from the Zhentarim are going to come out of the cave and talk to us.
By the gods, you're a sweet sight. Are any of my crew still alive out there?
No, it's a grim sight.
This whole journey's been one grim sight after another. Gnolls, goblins, drow.
Risen Road's more dangerous than ever. You're the first friendly face we've seen since Eltergard.
Eltergard's a long way from here. Where are you heading?
We're bound for Baldur's Gate. Got some cargo to deliver. But we've a stop to make along the way.
Maybe I should come, so you don't get waylaid again.
Thanks, but that won't be necessary. We'll find help at Joaquin's Rest. Listen, you look like you know how to handle yourself. You should meet my associates. We've got our own drinking spot by the tavern. Invitation only. Tell the fellow on the door. Little Serpent, Long Shadow. He'll take good care of you.
I would not recommend going through the other dialogue choices here because he tends to get kind of upset with you about that, so we're just going to skip all of that and leave. Once that's done, it's time to get the crew back together, so let's rejoin our party members. Lae'zel and Karlach are going to run up toward us. There's a lot of enemies in this area that we can loot. The most important one is going to be Flind's body, so make sure you go ahead and loot her corpse. You want to grab not only the weapon, but also the Mind Flayer Parasite specimen. There's also a dead Caravan agent body over here. It's got some supplies as well as the Speedy Reply. That's a kind of martial weapon, sword, scimitar kind of thing. We're not proficient with it, but when you attack an enemy, then you can gain momentum for 2 turns. Well, let's head down in here, and you can see that there's a chest over here. This is what the Zhentarim are guarding. They want to take it back to their base, but we're going to take it from them. In order to do this, we're going to eliminate these guys. I'm just going to save the game right over here, and then I'm going to split the Dark Urge away from the rest of the group, and I'm going to have 3 party members go over here toward where the chest is and this other enemy, and then we're going to go behind Ollie here, and we're going to stab him with a sneak attack melee to start off the fight. So we were able to kill him pretty easily. The other guy wants to fight us, but we have all of our party members right next to him. So using Astarion, I can go ahead and sneak attack him really close by. I can also have the Dark Urge attack. We can do a sneak attack from him, and we're just going to eliminate this guy as quickly as possible, and that will end the fight.
Time to kill.
You don't craft a chest like that to hold trinkets. There must be something valuable inside.
Now the chest has some good stuff in it, and the Astarion wants us to open it, but we're not going to do that. Instead, we're just going to choose to pick it up, and we're going to put it into our inventory because we are going to bring it to the Zhentarim Hideout. Now what we're going to do is search the area. There's some Alchemist's Fire that you can pick up. These always come in handy. And then you can loot Rugen's body to get some gold as well as a hand crossbow. Make sure you grab that if you want to start dual-wielding crossbows and have dual-wielded ranged weapons. So once we've gotten all the stuff here, we're going to go over and loot Ollie's body. We can get a few more Alchemist's Fire, and that's pretty much all that we need. We're going to now head back up the path, beware of the fire as you run through it, and then turn where you see this dead body, keep going along the path, and then turn left. We're going to go back toward Waukeen's Rest. All of the enemies in this area have been eliminated, so you don't have to worry about fighting anything around here at this point. Just keep running south through the path, and then eventually turn toward the right and go into Waukeen's Rest. Now let's keep going through Waukeen's Rest. We're going to turn right at the intersection, and we're going to run back over by where we collected the dowry in the earlier part. So keep running through here. We're going to go past this fire that we extinguished. Just be careful as you go through here. Now, for some reason, Astarion did not want to come along with me here, so we do have to toggle over to control him and get him back over here. But ultimately, we want to run over to this building that has the boxes stacked up outside of it. That is the Zhentarim's Hideout, so once all of your party members have managed to get past that fire, then go inside the door that is being blocked off by these boxes. And once you go inside, you'll get a short cutscene.
You spot a man crouching between the shelves, just as he spots you.
Bugger!
Recite Rugen's passphrase, Little Serpent, Long Shadow.
Oh, hell, dwarves! I thought you were Flaming Fist. Well, down you go then. They'll be on us soon, so if you're looking to trade, you best be quick. Entrance is hidden behind the wardrobe. Here's the key.
We now have the engraved key, allowing us to get down lower into the Zhentarim Hideout. We want to go over here and get right behind this guy. We're going to crouch behind him. He has no idea that we slaughtered his partners, and we're going to reunite them at this point. So let's use a sneak attack melee to begin the fight. He's going to take a lot of damage, and also he'll be surprised. This gives us automatic critical hits against him. So let's go ahead and hit him with another sneak attack melee. He'll die. We'll get 40 experience points. He doesn't have anything interesting on him. And now we can go around the corner and use the hatch to get down below into the hideout. We're now in the Zhentarim basement. We want to go forward toward the north. There's going to be a wooden walkway here with a ladder on the left side. Let's use the ladder to go down one floor, and then we're going to keep going toward the north and stick toward the left side. In the back corner, there's going to be a wardrobe that you can interact with. That's going to open it up, and behind that, there will be some hidden stairs. So let's use that to go even further down into the caves below the Zhentarim basement. Now we're going to continue running along the path here, and eventually you'll get into a little bit of a cutscene.
That's far enough. What's your business down here? Answer honestly and maybe we'll kill you clean.
Your colleague gave me a passphrase, little serpent, long shadow.
That just tells me you've met my people. Not why you're here in their stead.
They won't be coming back, but I know what became of their cargo.
Really? That information would be worth quite a bit to me, if you're telling the truth. We've disarmed the traps, come down!
We get an inspiration point for Astarion called the importance of networking, and now we can proceed down through the Iron Gate. There will be some traps on the ground, but we don't have to worry about them. They're not going to go off as we go through this area. Continue running along down the path until you get to the bottom part here. There's going to be a lot of people in this area. You don't need to talk to any of them really. We're just going to go up the stairs over here, and then there's going to be a tall ladder that we want to climb to get all the way up to the top. And over here is the woman that we were just talking to, Zaris, so let's talk to her.
You've already brought me bad news. Tell me you've got something better this time.
Give her the chest.
The Sharba's black bones, you did it! And still sealed. You're a goddamn wonder. Here's your coin. Actual professionals are rare. You ever want more work? Come and see me in the gate. Our trader can show you some of our more exotic items now. But don't delay. This place is likely to be rubble soon.
You can talk to her more if you want to, otherwise just leave. We do get a reward with a new crossbow, and we complete the Find the Missing Shipment side quest. Now, I'm the have your cake and eat it too kind of guy, so I not only turned in the chest as a reward, but I also want to get the chest back. And to do that, I'm going to eliminate all the Zhentarim in this area. So starting off, we're going to go up here where we're on the high ground, we're hidden, and we're going to sneak around here so that we can get the opening shot at the enemy. Just using Astarion here, I'm going to start by using a sneak attack ranged against Zaris to begin the battle.
Your violence hasn't gone unnoticed. It's about to be returned in kind.
One of the big advantages is that a lot of the enemies are way down low, so they've got to use a turn or two just to get up here. That gives us time to eliminate Zaris before they can even do anything against us. We're going to basically do the same strategy that we used in the battle against the Gnolls and Flind, with just having Astarion attack the enemy, and we'll have the Dark Urge try to finish off as many of them as possible just to stay invisible. This time, however, we do have Karlach and Lae'zel to support, so they're able to keep up on a lot of the melee attacks, keeping pressure on the enemy, and that allows us to also get some good sneak attack range attacks on the enemies just because there's a melee character in close range to the enemy. So we're just going to kind of hit the enemy, retreat a little bit, just stay out of their line of sight, and we're going to just get through this fight pretty quickly, actually. So there's not a lot that I need to explain here. I already talked about the main premise of the fight, so feel free to watch through this one, and I'll see you on the other side of it.
Let's go.
Let's turn someone inside out. Make it hurt. Time for a new approach. Another day, another fight.
Swift and lethal.
Be quick. They won't know what bit them.
I don't need any attention right now.
Okay, so we got lots of experience doing that, and now we also have a lot of bodies to loot. Baldur doesn't have a whole lot that you need, so you don't really have to loot him, but I would definitely recommend going and finding Brem. He has some really good stuff, the Jolty Vest, the Giant Breaker, but most importantly, the Titan String Bow. Make sure you grab that. It's one of the best bows, especially for strength builds in the game, and also another hand crossbow that we have. Over here to Garius, he's got an iron key and some other stuff that we don't really need. But the most important person that we want to talk to right now is Zaris, because she has a bunch of gold for us, as well as that Caravan Strongbox that we gave to her. So now we've killed her, and we've gotten it back into our possession, and now we can open it really without consequences. When we turned in that Caravan Strongbox to her, we got something called Herald. This is a kind of crossbow that has Heraldish Doom. When you deal damage to a target with a ranged weapon, it must succeed a charisma saving throw or be baned for 2 turns. Bane is a status condition that gives a penalty to the enemy's attack rolls and saving throws, so it's a really nice thing to have. Now I'm going to start to dual wield the hand crossbows that I have with the Dark Urge. So now I have dual wielded ranged weapons. This gives me a lot more versatility in battle. So I can not only do a sneak attack range, but I can also follow up with an offhand range attack. I'm giving the Titan String Bow to Lae'zel. This weapon deals additional damage equal to your strength modifier, so she has a lot of strength and that makes it very good for her. I'm going to grab that Caravan Strongbox now and just place it into the world. The box is locked, so I do need to have a character who can lockpick it. I'm going to go with Astarion. He has the best chance of being able to get into it. He just has a naturally really high sleight of hand, and he's also holding the Gloves of Power, which give me another advantage. So let's go ahead and roll this. It is a level 20 skill check, making it pretty difficult, but if you roll a high enough number with all of the bonuses and advantages, we should be able to get through this. Now let's open up the Caravan Strongbox, and inside there's the Iron Flask as well as a couple other meager things. The Iron Flask is really interesting because it has a spectator enemy inside of it. If you throw it out, then the spectator comes out and it will start to attack everything around it, which makes it a pretty valuable item, especially if you want to fight off a big crowd. And so I may be showing that off a little bit later on. As we run through this area up top here, we're going toward the north. There's going to be some more enemies here. All these traps are disabled, so we don't have to worry about them. Now, what I did is I was kind of curious, and I saw a button over here, and I thought, wow, a button, why don't we press that? So when you do that, what happens is that all the traps become activated. It also makes the enemy really unhappy with you, so they're going to want to start a fight. I'm going to go over here because I was still hiding, and I'm going to then sneak attack melee one of these wolves here, and now the fight really begins. I was able to kill one enemy, and now I can kill another enemy very easily just by using another sneak attack here. So 2 enemies gone in the first turn of combat. I'm invisible, so I'm just going to hide over in the corner here. There are a few more enemies around, and we're going to, once again, do that same trick of just trying to eliminate enemies as quickly as possible using a lot of sneak attacks. And we're going to have the Dark Urge kind of hide far away and then pick off enemies, maintaining that invisibility. I can't stress to you enough how good it is to have a stealthy character while you're going through a difficult mode like Tactician mode. If the enemy can't see you, they can't attack you, and if they can't attack you, they can't hurt you or kill you. It makes it very easy to get through these challenging battles. It's Karlach's turn. She has her new crossbow, which can inflict Bane on enemies. So let's go ahead and attack this one, and you do see Bane pop up. So now he has a penalty to his attack rolls. He's not very threatening anymore. The other enemies will just kind of charge toward us, and we're able to just fight them off pretty easily. So not a lot more that I need to say about this fight. I'm going to let it play out like the other ones, and you can watch it and enjoy this fight as we go along. I'll come back in toward the end of the fight where we can keep on going.
Just like old times. Still breathing, despite everything. hard comes easy these days. Think you can take me on?
Victory awaits.
Excellent. A subtle approach.
Put him up.
After the fight, there are a lot of bodies to loot. Definitely want to loot Vol's body because there is the ornate key. That's a new thing that we don't have. So go ahead and grab that. And then we want to head over toward the east. Now, if you activated those traps again, make sure you deactivate them by pressing the button. And then way over on the east side, there's going to be a gate here. It does have a skill check of 20, so it's fairly difficult to get through. So I'm just going to use Astarion because he's got the most natural bonuses and advantages out of everyone else. So let's go ahead and use him to lockpick our way through this door. Let's go through that iron gate, and directly in front of us there's going to be an ornate chest. Open it up and grab the Abyss Beckoners. This is an interesting pair of gloves for people who use summoned creatures. The summoned creature has resistance to all damage except for psychic damage, but at the start of the summoned creature's turn, it must succeed in a wisdom saving throw or be driven mad. So it's useful if you use summoned creatures. We don't, so it doesn't really matter. Now inside this area there are some things that you can go ahead and loot, like the painting here that's worth a little bit of gold, also the brass locket, the gold ring, and some other things. Go through here, grab everything that you want to. We're just going to be selling it off later on, but you can never have too much gold in this game. So once you've collected everything that you want, let's head back out of here. We're going to run back down toward where that button is, and instead we're going to go into this iron gate. It's locked, but we do have the key to get inside of here. There's going to be a couple different chests, but watch out because they are booby-trapped. So go ahead and disarm those. They're pretty easy to get through. They only have a skill check of 10 to disarm them, and then you do have to lockpick them to get inside of it. This does have a skill check of 15 to get inside of it. Let's open this one up, and inside you'll see there's some gold and a potion of animal speaking. For the chest on the right, we will disarm that one, again with a skill check of 10 to disarm it, and then we can open it up with a lockpick. This has a skill check of 15 just like the other one. We'll pass this one and then open up this wooden chest. Inside there's some more infernal iron for Karlach and some other things that are worth a little bit of gold. This room has a lot more stuff to loot, so go through, grab everything you want to. When you're ready, let's head on out. Now, there is an elevator in this area that will take you down into the Underdark, but I wouldn't recommend going that route. We're going to go into the Underdark using a different route. But first, we want to go talk to someone who is down here in this cave system with us. He is someone who did not fight us in the beginning with all the other people, so we want to go have a little chat with him and see what's going on. So we're just basically heading back toward the entrance, and there's going to be all the boxes, and you can see a painting on the ground over here, and he should be somewhere in this area. So let's go over and talk to the man that we can find standing around down here. His name is Oscar Fevris.
Wait, wait! I'm just a prisoner! Spare me and there'll be coin, I swear it.
You're not a prisoner anymore.
Oh, thank the god. You may not know it, friend, but you've just done yourself a great service indeed. For you've rescued none other than the artist, Oscar Fevris.
Excellent. When will I get my reward?
Fear not, friend. My patron will make good on all my debts. My betrothed, I should say. Assuming Lady Janeth still wishes to marry me after our little, falling out.
I don't care about your love life. I just want my reward.
Ah. Right. Suit yourself. Find me in the city and you shall have your reward. Say, you couldn't spare a little coin, could you? Ease the discomforts of the road, son.
Some party members like it if you give him some money, but we're not going to do that. We'll just say, coin will just weigh you down. Get moving.
I suppose I can endure the walk sober. Suffering has become an old friend, after all. Until Baldur's Gate, then.
Now Oscar is going to run off. You can go ahead and loot the stuff in here. There's some valuables and stuff. But otherwise, when you're done, you're just going to follow the path around toward the south, go through the gate, and follow that winding trail all the way back up to the top where you can take the ladder to go back into the upper level of the Zhentarim basement. Alright, now we're just going to continue following the path over toward the south, and that will take us over to a ladder that just allows us to climb up to the next floor, and then we're going to continue heading toward the south. There's a little quest marker on our mini-map just showing us about where to go over by this ladder. We're going to climb that up, and now we're back inside Joaquin's Rest. Now we're going to fast travel over to the Goblin camp waypoint, and for whatever reason, now it seems that Crusher wants to fight me. Remember, I could not get this guy to fight me for anything earlier on. I was stabbing him directly in his face, and he just healed and didn't seem to care about it. But now he does, and he wants to fight, so let's finish him off as quickly as possible. He doesn't have a whole lot of HP, so it should only take a couple attacks to finish him off.
Where do I go from here?
Now that Crusher's out of the way, we can just loot his body. He doesn't have a lot of good stuff except for the Crusher's Ring item. This is something that increases our movement speed by 3 meters while we're wearing it. Seems like a good thing for the Dark Urge to wear, so I will just equip that into one of the ring slots. And then we're going to head back inside the Shattered Sanctum because we're going to use the Goblin camp to get down into the Underdark. So starting off, we're just going to run through the heavy oak doors here. When we get inside, there is going to be a fight, so make sure that you're all healed up. And then we're going to sneak our way right inside here. So there's going to be a couple enemies in this area. There's a few of them up on the top railings on the left and the right, and then a couple straight ahead of us. It's not a very difficult fight. We're going to basically do the same thing that we have been doing, just trying to kill off enemies with the Dark Urge to turn invisible. That way we're not taking damage. And then having Astarion use his own version of sneak attack, and everyone else will just be attacking with either melee or ranged weapons as necessary. So that's all that I have to say about this one. It's a pretty simple fight. I'm going to just let this one play out, and then I'll come back in at the end.
Victory awaits. Moving.
No time for mercy.
Shall we cut and run? Outmaneuver them. Into the shadows. Behold, the dance of death. Swift as my feet can carry me. Can't risk being in open view. I've missed this. On my way. Let's have some fun. Break them.
Victory awaits.
All right, looking good. Now we're just going to head back down the ladder, and we're going to then continue on toward the north, and we're going to go over to where Priestess Gut was. We're actually going to go into her chambers because that is the way that we have to go in order to get down into the Underdark. So just run straight forward toward the north. You'll see the big altar thing here. You can loot the bodies here if you haven't done that already. You might find some good things among them. And then we're going to go over toward the left side, that is toward the west, and that will take us up some stairs and over by Priestess Gut's room. Let's go through the door up here, and because we've already looted True Soul Gut's body, we do have the key that allows us to go into her quarters. So if you haven't looted her yet, do it now and then go through the door into the priestess's quarters. When you're here, watch out because there is a very large enemy patrolling around through here. If you are spotted, you can either choose to leave, or you can try to talk your way out of it, or fight. I'm just going to choose to fight, and we're going to try to get through this as quickly as possible. The enemy has about 97 HP, so it can take a little while just to kill it, but we can do that fairly quickly if we get some luck with our good sneak attacks and high damage rolls. So not a lot to say about this fight. Just try to keep your distance because she does hit quite hard, and we want to eliminate her from a distance or using ranged attacks as best as possible. So I'm going to let this fight play out as well. It's a lot shorter than the other ones just because there's only one enemy, and I'll see you after the fight.
We'll do it my way.
Well, so much for peace.
Can't slow down.
Softer than a whisper.
Victory awaits. No time to waste.
Time to kill.
Time to strike.
Can't even catch my breath.
All right, time to wrap this up. I'm going to run over here, and I'm just going to choose to do a normal range attack. But you can see, because I'm dual wielding those hand crossbows, that automatically fires the second one and does a lot more damage as the bonus action there. So a really good combination to dual wield those hand crossbows. We'll jump down here and then loot the body. You'll find a supply pack here that's always going to come in handy. And I am unfortunately unable to jump down from the top of that bookcase where all my party members are without taking a little bit of damage. The ladder that I used to get up was broken in the middle of that fight. So I do have to get all my party members to jump down, hopefully without also jumping back up like Lae'zel likes to do. So I can just kind of get my party members down there. It takes a minute, and then we can keep going from here. As always, there's a whole bunch of stuff to loot, so go crazy looting everything around here. Particularly on the bed, there's a padlock key if you want to grab that one. It's always nice to have extra keys around. Nothing else that we really have to do in here. So now let's go back out into the main hallway, and we're going to run toward the east, and that will take us into another room with a little lower section here. There's a puzzle on the ground in the next room that you can solve in order to open the door down into the Underdark. However, I don't have to do that because with a successful perception check, you're able to bypass this whole thing. Just run past the tiles on the ground here, and over here there's going to be a perception check. Let's go ahead and interact with this lever, and when we use it, then we will have a skill check looking for a 15. We're going to pass that one, and then we're going to get through into the door that opens up and takes us down into the Underdark. So if you turn to the left after you use that lever, you're able to go through the new opening in the wall, and straight ahead of us there's going to be a ladder that will take us down into the Underdark. And that's where I'm going to end this video. Thank you very much for watching. We're going to pick up right here in the Underdark in the next part. So I hope that you'll join me for that. Make sure that you like this video if you enjoyed it. And if you want to see more, then make sure that you also subscribe so that you can stay up to date with the rest of this content. So thank you so much again for watching. I really appreciate it. I'll see you very soon for part 6. Until then, thanks for watching and have a good day.